this is the new technology that we can use. And that doesn't mean that you no longer have to use the other technologies that are out there. Yeah, I think this is an add-on type of situation. And one of my favorite artists, R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle, one of my favorite artists, he made the Proud to Pay movement, right? And that means he was releasing stuff at the same time they were free, like say on the YouTube, but he also put it out there. And if you wanted to pay for it, you can also buy his album at the same time. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. So the true fans out there are purchasing these episodes and they're collecting them. And I've seen too that you can resell. There's a whole market that can happen. Can you speak on the possibilities that you can do with this technology?
Yeah, I think you mentioned a couple key things there. So one of the main things that we like operate under is to try not to pull you away from an existing platform, right? Like YouTube or Spotify or anything like this. So this model that we're talking about publishing content on chain is really an additive positive sum kind of mechanism for you as a creator. You're not really losing anything by publishing on chain, and it's really just this additive experience. And it's something that we've really tried to approach of like, how do we fit into the current creator workflow? So I think that was one important piece for us. By publishing on pods or really publishing on chain as a whole, you're not really trying to sacrifice or take away from, publishing to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube or anything like that. You're really trying to be this net new additive experience, almost like a Patreon, where you're kind of doing all of that. The content is still free to consume, but your true fans are going to come and support you directly, which is really the key thing there. The second thing is, the possibilities of what happens, with this stuff. We're really big fans of, what you can do with the social graph with this. I think like one of the things that, we've seen today, or a handful of things that we've seen today is effectively, okay, one option is you can create a token gated chat, right? A gated chat, group chat, with all of your fans, with all of your collectors. You can then start to give them status based on how much you've collected, right? So, we have a creator that does this where you get different roles in Discord. And, the more NFTs or more episodes that you collect, you kind of rise up the ranks. So you kind of get this gamified status. Other ideas that we've seen creators use is like, okay, maybe I want to allow these people to vote on future content. So they'll set up, a vote, and one NFT equals one vote. And here are the guests that I have lined up. Which ones do you guys want to see on the next episode? And there's all sorts of other things. I think, from a stepping back, what's possible with this is that effectively you have this very public leaderboard of your biggest fans that you can then reward in any way that you want. And specifically, this leaderboard has not only like effectively an email address, but a Venmo account associated with it. So if you imagine like Mr. Beast, if he knew every single individual and had their Venmo account that supported his content over the years, what would he be doing with that data, right? He'd probably be doing daily giveaways. One random subscriber, one random collector every day gets $10,000. Fuck it, let's go.
Facts.
And be doing crazy stuff like that. So we're really excited about the possibility of what you can do with these social graphs at the end of the day. But today we're seeing new ways to not only engage the audience and allow them to kind of influence your direction as a creator, engage with them directly, but also get rewarded financially. So, other things that we've seen is like, imagine I have an episode on Eigenlayer. Maybe we want to start rewarding people that mint the episode about Eigenlayer with some Eigen tokens. And what this does is it drives more virality around that episode and brings more people to come and consume your content. If you think of that token as like an advertisement or like a way to attract attention to your content, you can start to use these tokens as attention mechanisms, attention grabbers for people to come to your content. So we've seen a lot of creators leverage this kind of concept of a on-chain sponsorship. And I know I've been ragging on sponsorships in the first half of this, but the reason why this is so exciting is because it really brings in the collector or the fan and creates a much more compelling experience for them. So if you can imagine, I'm a brand, I'm a creator, and we have the listener here. The brand wants to give the creator a sponsorship, but rather than it being just US dollars, plug us in the episode, throw the link in the show notes, and screw the listener. What changes here is effectively the brand gives up some tokens gives it to the creator. The creator says, we're not going to sell any of these tokens. I'm actually going to give it all away to the community that mints and supports my episode. And then through that, the collectors kind of get this new upside in the token. They actually get direct exposure to that project that's sponsoring you. And the project on the other end is getting net new token holders, net new wallets that have engaged with their project that now hold their token and then convert into potentially active users. So if you think about, if you get 100 mints, maybe 5% of those people end up actually not only holding the token, but buying more of it and actually using the underlying protocol. Like if you had Aave, incentivizing an episode with Stani, maybe some of those people end up actually depositing into Aave or come across Aave for the first time because of that token incentive. So it's really this concept of an on-chain advertisement where, you get to bring this listener, the collector, the fan into the, upside of it, right? Where you're, rather than the creator just directly getting the money from the brand, you actually give that money to the fan, and they have the option of whether or not they want to take it, right? And that's a significantly better experience on the sponsorship model, where all parties are now involved and all of them kind of have this collective benefit from it. So I know I just
That's
went
amazing.
on a rant right there, but
no. What you did was drop a whole bunch of gems, right? And you showed the power of what the POTS platforms it can do for the brands in the community. So that's dope. So to make sure I understand, right? You're partnering with somebody, or your guest is like, hey, we have a platform, a token that is so what we're talking about essentially. Then they can then give the podcast creator tokens. So then every time that a fan or collector buys this podcast and it's in the crypto wallet, it comes with an extra gift, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I think, that's amazing.